Hey everyone, greetings and hello. I wanted to share with you all a quick video on some preparations that you can make for yourself if you're interested to hold inner dance sessions online. I'm going to focus everything I share today on the Zoom platform and the different things that I've learned in the last months since using Zoom and transferring some of the inner dance process online. So I'm going to share a few things about Zoom and then a couple of the things I've done to help myself be prepared for sessions and recordings and audios and things like that. And then also what some of the specific things I've done in order to sync up my devices so that I can do the live DJing while on Zoom. So the first thing that I wanted to share is it's really helpful with recordings, either for live instruments or for audio that you don't want to have any other interferences with, to be coming from an external microphone. Computers are okay, and there are some options in Zoom that can help you cancel out other noises. But if you really want super clear audio, it's really good to have an external mic. Microphones are pretty easy to set up. Most of the time, they can connect with your computer very quickly with just a USB port connection. And your computer can usually figure out the device without anything extra being done. Then what you just need to do in whatever program you're using is select your external microphone instead of the internal sound, and it will shift to your mic instead of your computer's audio. I chose a microphone that I found in a medium price range. There's a few different brands that are really good for audio and professional quality sound. One is Rode, and I would say they're in the top line for audio devices and headphones and things like that. And then I went with one called Audio Technica, and this is a mid-range. There are less expensive versions that you can get. There are microphones that have condensers that you can put in front of the mic, so you can get more of a pop filter sound if you're doing audio recordings for your own singing or your own song creations. The microphone that I purchased has a condenser on the inside. So there's a little round part in here, and that's actually the condenser inside of the microphone. So this little one is really nice because I can move it around. I can keep it off to the side. It picks things up really well. And when I have the settings in Zoom for as little external sound as possible, it feels like it just cancels out everything. Okay, so let me share about that next. Okay, here are the ways for us to take a look at Zoom settings. First off, in the upper left corner of your computer screen, where you see zoom.usa, there is a drop-down menu. The second thing is preferences. If you click on preferences, the third option on the menu to the left is audio. Right now, I have my computer set for speaker output coming directly from my computer, but input coming from my microphone. If you have an external microphone, when you're choosing your input, you can choose the same as system, the built-in microphone of your computer, or the one that is being used as your external source. And for me, this microphone comes up automatically as an option, so I know what to pick. I can also choose this microphone for my output, But then I have to use headphones. So most of the time, I just like to listen to things coming out of the speakers from my computer, but all of my input comes through the microphone first. Here's also where you can choose the type of audio suppression that you have and what the preferred setting will be for the type of suppression that you use. Audio is, I think, the first automatically chosen support for background noise suppression, but I keep mine on either medium or high because I have this external microphone and the quality coming through is really good. So it's nice to have everything else blocked out. If I were playing live music, I would do something different. In that case, I would actually turn off all of the audio suppression and use the original sound coming from everything that's around me. This is going to help me with high fidelity music mode if I decide to choose this. Although that uses up a lot more bandwidth. But if you have the capacity, if your Wi-Fi is strong, this is a great option if you're playing live sounds. So you can turn on or off original sound by picking this option to show it in the meeting. So you can decide, when do I play original sound, or when do I only have things coming from the microphone alone? This is the Zoom page for background noise suppression. It's letting us know what settings there are and what we need in order to connect. Here are our different options and a little bit about the type of noise each of these settings will eliminate. If you need to enable original audio for playing high fidelity music, it will use up more CPU utilization, but it also will give you the best possible option for a natural sounding recording. Leave everything in default mode, then it will usually auto change how much is being muffled from your background depending on the moment. When you shift the settings into something you're choosing, either low, medium, or high filtration of external noise, then it will only choose some sounds. If you leave original sound on, it isn't filtering out any of the external sounds. So for example, if I'm using my microphone and I have the original sound on and it starts raining, then the sound of the rain will definitely be coming through the microphone. But if I do the noise cancellation option at either medium or high, then none of the rain sounds will be heard while I'm speaking. It will just be the sound of my voice as much as possible. If you are hosting an Innerdance session and you're doing live instrumentation along with something electronic, or maybe it's a sound healing or something that is meant just to be with live instruments, it's really good to put on the original sound so you get the full quality and resonance of whatever instruments are being played. But it's also really good then to have an external microphone because the computer isn't as sensitive to the different frequencies. But a really good mic is going to pick up the quality of the instruments being played and hopefully convey that over Zoom in a way that maintains as much of that original quality as possible. So the next thing I wanted to share a bit about is how to actually share sound through Zoom. Okay, so the next thing we're going to take a look at is how to do a computer audio share. This is going to be really helpful if you want to play music for your participants before the session on Zoom begins, something to have in the background as people are getting settled, or for whenever you're ready to begin your soundscape.
If you already have a playlist that you want to share via Zoom with your participants to lay down and journey into the inner dance process, this is the easiest way to do a audio share from your computer with just one device. So you don't have to connect an external device to bring the audio through. The way to do this is by going to the screen share option at the bottom of Zoom and clicking on it. When you click on that, you'll notice that there are different settings in basic, and then there's advanced and also files. I'm going to be clicking on advanced settings. And from here, you can see this option, computer audio. When you click on that and press share, it's going to give you a chance to play whatever sound is coming through your computer, whether that be your iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever it is. You can then share directly through Zoom the computer audio from the internalized way that sound comes through. What that means, if we don't use this computer audio share option, the sound that people hear are coming through the speakers of your computer. So it's moving from the computer into the external speakers, then going back into the computer as an internal input. That's complicated. It doesn't allow for very good quality to come through. So the best thing is to share directly from your computer. If you are using one device to share the audio and the Zoom, make sure to keep everyone's mics muted, videos off as much as possible, yours as well, and see how that goes. It should hopefully keep the connection best. The better way, though, is to connect two devices, one that just shares your audio, one that connects you to Zoom.
Here is our settings for Zoom. At the bottom, we have this option for screen share. Here's the little arrow that I've been talking about. To click on this and see one participant or multiple participants to share at a time. When the multiple participants sharing is enabled, your second device can then connect to the Zoom via a screen share. This is how I get my iPad connected. And once I press screen share on my iPad, I can choose to broadcast many different things. And I choose the screen, select broadcast, connect to my DJ app, and then use that for the sound. And make sure everyone is muted. And the best way to get the highest quality sound to come through is also to ask people to turn off their videos. This way, they're not using any extra bandwidth from their internet connection to keep the video going while the audio is playing. And I make sure to turn off the video and the sound from both of my devices, so the only thing that I'm listening to and playing is from the DJ app. The same would be true if you wanted to use a second device just to play a playlist and have that device be used just for the audio. This is a great way to do it so that you can save energy from your computer. Okay, so now I have my iPad also connected to the Zoom. And from my iPad, I can go into share content just as I would from the computer. And I can pick what I want to share. So I'm going to choose screen. And because I've already set it up on the computer in the settings to allow for multiple participants, once I'm doing all of this from the screen of the iPad, here it says that I'm about to start a broadcast. So I'm going to say yes on my iPad, start broadcast. And now we can see here in the Zoom that we're sharing from the same thing that's on my iPad. So what I do next is I go into my DJ app and here it is. So from here, I can actually just start to put in whatever it is that we're going to be playing first, and I can begin to share. And then you'll hear it. So this is the easiest way to get started with a screen share option to include the audio straight from a second device without any overlap in the connections because it's two different devices. So I find usually the music is a little less choppy this way. Sometimes it actually just comes through a lot clearer as well. Sometimes maybe it's a little muffled if it's coming from my computer audio, but that also might just be internet dependent, Wi-Fi connection dependent. One other thing that I do when I'm using two devices to make sure that I'm not hearing an echo, this is really important. I'm going to close the music now. In the Zoom settings on my second device, there's this option at the top for join audio. If I join the audio, there's a super echo. This doesn't work very well. So when you start to get one of these computer echoes from having two devices connected to Zoom at the same time, you have to do some things so the echo doesn't drive you crazy. There's no other way to cancel out the audio unless you do this next step. So notice we're still doing a screen share from my iPad at the moment, and it says that I'm on mute and that my video is off, but I'm hearing the echo over on this side. So if I go to more, here at the very bottom in red, it says disconnect audio. If I do that, now I'm not actually connected to the audio through my device. And I don't need to be because I'm connected to the audio through my computer. The only thing I need is the internal sharing of whatever is on my screen so that I can clearly share the sound from my music and DJ mixing stuff and not get any of the echoes. So that one's really key to making sure that you can keep things level with whatever you're doing. Thanks for taking the time to watch and listen. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope this gives you a good start for getting yourself ready to hold some inner dance, sound healing, or other music-based experiences over Zoom.